Welcome to the Bahrain Grand Prix. Bahrain Grand Prix in Saka has always brought different vibes and different racing and overtake. And we are going into the heat because this time we are having a lot of heat in Bahrain. And the possibility of rain in Bahrain is almost like 5%. It's going to be an interesting race, unlike the Japanese racing, which we didn't really have a lot of overtaking, a lot of battles. And that takes me to what did we learn from Japan? Number one, we learned that the Ferraris still have a long way to go. McLaren and their contract are still contradicting the purpose of their racing. They were also thinking of holding position so that Lando Norris can still be top at the Drivers' Championship. From Mercedes, Mercedes now learned that they are not the second fastest car. We learned that the Red Bull are actually almost on par with McLaren, but they are hiding their speed. Who can you fool? Well, you can fool a lot of people. Max Verstappen is driving the heck out of that car. Who else should drive the heck out of that car when it's made for his driving style? But hey, I raise my hand up. I don't want to say much. Stop peddling the narrative that the car is hard to drive. Red Bull are just giving different narratives to people so that they can cover up their opportunities, all because they want to win. But for me, I don't get tricked by Red Bull. Red Bull have pace, they have speed, they know what they want to do. What they are chasing down is Max Verstappen winning the Drivers' Championship and getting a driver that can almost drive that car like Max Verstappen to win the Constructors' Championship. Aside from that, they don't have any other thing. That is what Red Bull is there for. And also, Aston Martin brought some few upgrades and the car looks better, but the car is now drivable for Alonso. It's no more drivable for Lance Stroll. Oh God, they're checking their reality. What else did we learn? Williams are the leading team in the midfield, which means Aston Martin, go back. You are not in the midfield. Also, Haas brought some upgrade which has propelled them forward. Let's see how Haas are able to get up and get on top of this car and make it faster, because we had a very good Haas car last year. And now that they are looking for much more sponsorship and much more, Haas are moving towards the right direction. Max Verstappen won the last race and it was a very big and decisive moment for him. And this has showed us that anybody that's taking pole this season had won the race. Lando Norris took pole in Australia, he won the race. Lewis Hamilton took the sprint pole in China, he won the sprint. Oscar Piastri took the main race pole in China, he won the main race. Max Verstappen took the pole in Japan, he won the Japanese race. I think the race now is all about who takes pole, but I think it will be a different thing in Saka, Bahrain, because strategies will come up. They have long straights in which you can use the DRS, and that track is wide that you can overtake. So it will be a different task. They don't see who took pole or who takes pole to win that race. There will be some dynamics. Coming into the race, I'm expecting them to use the same tire line of the in Japan, which is the C1 for hard tire, C2 for medium, C3 for soft tire. We are going to see much of the soft tire. Chance of rain, like I said earlier, is like 5%. So there will be a lot of it. The drivers will suffer it, and also the cars will suffer it. So there will be a lot of degradation on tire. And tire management will be a key. Also, what are we looking for in Saka? We are looking for Ferrari bringing up their upgrades, bringing a new floor to help them manage the rear that they are having issues with. Also, we have another team to bring in upgrade. The Saka Grand Prix would be a one that would determine the fate of Ferrari this season. If they bolt it up in Saka, then it means this season Ferrari might not come up with any championship. The championship is still open. We are going to the fourth race of the season, which will be very interesting. And from here, we are still going to Saudi, which is another hot or desert area, but not as hot as Bahrain. We're going to have so many opportunities to see so many battles in this next two races that we are going into. I mean the Bahrain and the Saudi Arabia. Looking at the Bahrain Grand Prix, is a 57 lap and it has been held 20 times. We had it first in 2004 with Lewis Hamilton being the driver that has won most and Ferrari being the constructors that have won most. Lewis Hamilton had won 5 of the Bahrain Grand Prix, while Ferrari had won 7 of the constructors win in Bahrain. Max Verstappen won last year's race. He was also on pole, he won the race. So the 1-2 for Red Bull, with the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz doing a bit of good work to get himself in the third position. The 57 lap race with a race length of 308.238 kilometers and a circuit length of 5.412 kilometers. That's a 363.363 miles. How does the Bahrain race favor the team? That is where they had a test at the beginning of the season. So I believe a lot of teams will be bringing up some upgrades that will also help them to retest some things. So in Bahrain, they are going to be having the FP1, FP2, FP3 and the main race. So there are lots of opportunities for the drivers to learn. The rain possibility in Bahrain this weekend is very, very low, and there will be a lot of learning. So all this narrative that Red Bull are peddling and spreading are just solidifying their stories just to make people feel Red Bull are not in position to win any championship, but they are doing their best to win championship. But I put it to Red Bull, a suggestion. Why not Red Bull get the Williams for Max Verstappen and let's see if he will win the championship. Let Red Bull swap Alonso, that have been the biggest praise of Max Verstappen, into the RB21 and let's see what he would do. These are just reality check that we need to swap. For me, I think, and I always say, all these drivers are good drivers, but some are exceptional, and I've classified the exceptional ones and the future exceptional ones, and I've told you the ordinary ones and those that are in the rank of they are good drivers. But we don't trade the reality or tell you that because these drivers are so good, they are so exceptional, they are very important at the grid, or they can do magical things. We know drivers that can do magical things. We knew how talented Sebastian Vettel was and how good he was when he was in Red Bull. He switched to Ferrari, and his first 2 years after that, he was just like a shadow of himself. Even moving to Aston Martin, we didn't see him do anything. So you don't just peddle stories around to make everybody feel they're inferior. For me, I'll tell you, these drivers are great drivers. Max Verstappen is a very great driver, but let's focus on Red Bull this season and see what happens. I won't say much, but get into Bahrain. Let's see how Bahrain will give us good maximum racing, which I'm sure we're going to have a good and enjoyable racing in Bahrain. The FP1, FP2, and the Saturday practice and qualifying, and the Sunday main race. You don't want to miss. I love you guys. Catch you guys in Bahrain.